Hi, it's John, and welcome to the channel. 4:29 a.m. on Saturday, February the 8th, with the big blue mug of coffee. I hope you're having a great day today. Share this one if you can, because I think this is one of the craziest ideas I've ever come up with. You might say I've lost my mind, but perhaps I have, but I think this is important. I think it's very important. I think Pierre Poilievre has to challenge Mark Carney to a debate, one-on-one, before March 9th, and the Liberal leadership vote. Why do I say this? Because nobody is asking any tough questions of Mark Carney. Nobody. I don't think that the media is asking any tough questions. We've all said it. I've said it. You're thinking it. Everybody else commenting on Canadian politics is saying it. It's like the guy's already the leader of the country, and everybody believes it's a foregone conclusion that Mark Carney will be the next prime minister of this country, and nobody's asking any tough questions. Well, here's an article right here. This is from yesterday. Michael Higgins, Emperor Carney acting like he's already in charge. Why is the Liberal leadership hopeful advising cabinet ministers? Why is he doing that? Somebody should be asking him that question. I don't think many people are. And then Pierre Poilievre, he's not even as trusted to talk to Trump. Here's another headline. Globe and Mail, Canadians believe Mark Carney would be better than Pierre Poilievre in dealing with Trump. Poll finds. This guy is not even an elected official, and he's going to be the next prime minister of this country. He needs to be called out immediately. And the thing is, I looked this up this morning. I don't know why I wake up thinking about these things. It was 2 o'clock this morning, and I'm on my phone. When is the Liberal leadership debate? When are they having a debate for the Liberal leadership? And I looked it up online, and there is no debate scheduled right now. Not a single debate. Nobody is scheduled to ask any tough questions of the people who are running to be the next prime minister of the country. We are 1 month away from them choosing a Liberal, and nothing. The first story that pops up when you look it up is Freeland calls for 4 Liberal leadership debates, challenges rivals to run no matter who wins. That was posted on January the 24th. That's 2 weeks ago. And still, no Liberal leadership debates. What are they going to have, one? And do you trust the CBC to ask questions of these people who they want to be the next leader of the country, who they want to have their party to be the next party to lead our government after the next election? Do you trust any of them? Chrystia Freeland she's not even on the page right now when it comes to running for the Liberal leadership. Check this out. So Brian Lilly did an interview with Pierre Poilievre. It was 14 minutes and 30 seconds long. And I watched it yesterday, and I got up this morning and I thought, I'm going to watch it again. Because did he even mention Chrystia Freeland in this interview at all? Watched it again. And you know what I did? Just so you didn't have to, I edited the video of all the times he says Mark Carney. He mentions Mark Carney. Check this out.
The Carney-Trudeau Liberals, including of many of Mr. Carney's own investments, carbon tax Carney, Mark Carney as Carney-Trudeau Liberals, Mark Carney has as Carney-Trudeau Liberal carbon tax Carney, Mark Carney of his top economic advisor, Mark Carney. Carney, Trudeau's economic advisor. We see that Mr. Carney was Mr. Carney, carbon tax Carney that the Carney-Trudeau government imposed and reject Mark Carney's plan, planned carbon tax hikes. Carney-Trudeau Liberals, Carney-Trudeau carbon tax Carney is Carney.
That goes on for 34 seconds. In 14 and a half minutes, I cut that pretty tight. He says Mark Carney, carbon tax Carney, Carney Liberals, 34 seconds of a 14 and a half minute interview. He knows that Mark Carney's going to be the next guy, but nobody's asking him any tough questions. And calling him names over and over again is not going to do anything for the poll numbers for the Conservatives in this country. Something has to be done. And you might say, well, what's in it for Pierre Poilievre? Well, he can expose this man for who he is. The Conservatives have in the past snatched defeat from the jaws of victory. I did not vote Conservative in the last two elections because they picked crappy leaders. Horrible leaders. And I think Pierre Poilievre is a good leader. Now, watch that whole interview. I'll put the whole thing, I'll put a link in the description for it. The last minute is his best time because he's a nice guy, and you can tell by watching him joke around with Brian Lilly. He needs to put out another video of him and his family. But he's got to call out Mark Carney. Even if he doesn't accept a debate, at least he'll get the spotlight on him, calling out Carney and telling people what Carney actually believes. Now, what would I ask him? I just wrote down a few things. I'm going to read them off the screen. I hope you don't mind. I'm sure you can think of 100 things you'd like to ask the next prime minister of this country. But here are a few things. Mr. Carney, will you disclose your investments? Don't you think you should before you're named prime minister? Did you and your company invest in pipelines while actively pushing green issues in Canada while approving of shutting down Canada's oil and gas industry? If the carbon tax was so good, why are you so against it now? You said it was too low. Aren't you just saying this now because it's convenient? How is any of this climate change action you favor doing anything good for the environment? Canada's emissions are still rising while Canadians suffer from the high cost of living and continue to pay your so-called climate action. As an unelected official, do you always stick your nose into things that are none of your business? You did it with Brexit over in England, and you seem to be speaking on behalf of Canada without ever being elected, without ever receiving one vote. When you force business and industry to pay climate taxes, don't they pass that on to consumers? You say you're against tariffs, but isn't imposing a carbon border adjustment mechanism, your words, a tariff on everything the United States ships to Canada? How do you think the United States will react to that? They're our biggest trading partner. Ever fly in a private jet, Mr. Carney? Don't you think it's kind of hypocritical to tell other people how to live their lives when you don't lead by example? Pierre Poilievre needs to call out carbon tax Carney. Instead of calling him names, he needs to ask him these questions, or at least call him out and make him deny having a debate with him and put the focus back on where it needs to be, on getting a conservative government elected in this country. That's how I feel. And I don't think it'll ever happen, but I think it needs to be done. Because this guy's not going to be asked any tough questions. There's only 1 month left, and he's going to be the Prime Minister of Canada, folks. What do you think? Please put your thoughts in the comments or in the description below in the comments. Thanks a lot for watching the videos. Did really well yesterday. 16,000 people on that video, I think, right now. Please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, share this video, and I'll see you in the next one.